Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask Ben W, the video series where I get to tackle exactly one question as I walk from my parked car to my office in Denver Public Schools. Today's question is once again talking about the Digital Educator and Personalized Learning Academy, coming at it from a different angle, and the question goes something like this. How do you help someone to make the right choices for their learning within an event? And this comes about from a conversation that I had with a couple of folks from the Imaginarium, which is the Innovation Lab in Denver Public Schools. And they were talking about essentially, could we ask a series of questions to a participant at a professional learning event, such as DEPLA, the Digital Educator and Personalized Learning Academy. Could you ask a series of questions that then would help you to provide specific advice and maybe even a curated schedule for that participant, so that they could specifically, do the things that they need in order to grow in the ways that they want, right? So it's asking about their learner profile. It's asking about the types of problems of practice that they would like to solve. It may even be asking, all of the demographic kind of questions, right? Like grade level and, what your area of expertise is within that grade level, meaning like number of years of service in that grade level, things like that, right? The broader question, though, of how do you help someone, I think is maybe even more important, right? Like if someone were to ask you, what sessions should I go to at ISTE? What would your answer be to that? If someone were to ask you, what kinds of activities should I be doing in order to get the most out of this experience? What's your answer to that? And I think for me, it kind of comes down to how well do you know that learner, and how well can you help that learner not just to find the things that they need, but to find the people that they need. Because if I have learned anything from planning events or from creating professional learning experiences, is that no matter how good the content is, if I have not also created a strong conversation and a connection from one person to another, or if they haven't created that for themselves, then it is incredibly unlikely that that will sustain the change that they have felt during that event. And I guess the answer that then comes out of that is the way in which you support people making really great choices about their professional learning is not so much in choosing the right sessions or in choosing the right, supports, but actually in choosing the right connections and the ways in which, the conversations are happening. And so, a lot of times we end up doing that just by putting collaboration time on the schedule. So in between those sessions, how is it that we can have people talk, right? But there are all different types of folks who don't take advantage of those collaboration times, or who don't know the people that they should be talking to. And so what it comes down to is, how do we create a matchmaking service for our learners? How do we create the opportunity for our teachers and leaders to get to know each other deeply? And I think my approach to that would have a lot to do with the way in which we are attracted to one another's passions, and we are attracted to one another's evidence of learning. So what I mean by that is, when someone shares something on Twitter, a resource that actually has some really strong thinking within it, or it is a visual representation of that thinking, or it is a lesson that they have developed that has come as a result of their thinking and learning. When they share that, there is a strong sense of, I want to comment on that, I want to respond to that, I want to I want to react to it. And that starts the conversation and starts the connection. And so, how is it that we might encourage folks to share their thinking, share their learning as a first step, so that other people can start the connecting process? So it is not enough that we simply ask the questions of, what do you want to learn about? And what is your learner profile? And all of those kinds of things. It is up to us as planners and facilitators to also help folks to share that information with one another, and to take the things that they are either most proud of, or that they are most grappling with, or that they are working very diligently on, those problems of practice, the things that they have created in the past year of their classroom. It is up to us to help craft the platform for sharing that, because it is within those moments of shared practice that the connections actually form. Now, I don't think that it has to be all done online. I don't think that it has to be something that is really ham-fisted, like, please do bring your best lesson to this event so that you can share it with other people and they can connect. Like, I don't think that it has to be that forced, but I do think that the time and space for coming together, and the way in which we curate relationships and sort of help others to connect with one another, is infinitely helped. Maybe not infinitely, but it is definitely helped by simply encouraging people to share their thinking, by encouraging one another to really dive into the response or ideas or the creations that someone else has put forward. And so that's what I'd like to, try and play with. It's not so much I want to create the service that is asking great questions that helps us to better support people in making good choices for their learning, but also how do we create the platform for shared practice. And it may be as simple as, all right, we're using this hashtag, how do we encourage that hashtag to be the place where people are sharing their practice, and how do we ask the right questions and sort of go through that right protocol to get people to share there. But at the end of the day, if we have not made connections between people, the event will have not done its job. DEPLA will have not really had the full impact that it might otherwise, because the people sustain us. The collaborations that we have with others tend to make implementation a lot stronger and a lot deeper and a lot more lasting. So that's my thinking for this morning. Almost 10 minutes long today. Sorry about that. If you want to respond or have your own question, please ask in comments, or use the hashtag AskBenW, and I'd be happy to learn with you. I hope you have a great day of learning.